everyone. Tuesday Night Live, Gino B here. And this is the last week to get your votes in for helping me decide which original song will be on my next album. So, again, check it out. There's 3 songs out there. Your vote will determine which song will be the next one I actually release. So that's it. After this Thursday, the voting closes. But I have a really, really awesome cover song that is going to be coming out this Thursday. It's Vance Joy Riptide. And I've been wanting to cover this, not just the song, but cover the topic as well, because it's such a fascinating song. And although I don't know for certain what the song is actually about when he made it, or if it was supposed to be some type of, maybe jab or joke or whatever, but there is certainly a good case to be made with this interpretation I have as to what I think the song is about. So, simply stated, when he says left hand man, it's pretty clear he's talking about the left hand path, which is the occult. So, speaking of the pillars of Jachin and Boaz and the Kabbalistic tree of life that's used in the books, in the occult books, the left hand is the shortcut, right? So that's the quick way to get to manifestation or whatever it is that you're trying to create and draw towards you. Left classically has been known as sinister, so that's where the left hand has always been considered sinister or bad, evil. What hand you? Black magic, the left hand path. This was popularized in the 19th century by occultist Helena Blavatsky, and it's just so cool because after watching the video, I saw so many cool little interesting. Hey, buddy, the kitty's waking up here. I saw so many interesting. Like it just kept pouring on, like more and more. So again, the left. I'm going to be your left hand man. He's talking about the left hand path, and the magician's assistant line, which repeats. Represents the magician card. Quite simply, in the tarot deck, it's the magician's card, and the magician is meant to his that card is basically the goal is to master all the elements of the occult to be able to manifest things. So going into some of the lyrics here, he's talking about being scared of dentists in the dark. As a kid, this kind of things he was actually supposedly he was really afraid of the dentist growing up as a kid, and this kind of just shows his growth from being this little kid scared of the dark. It's a primal fear as a mammal. You're in the dark, things happen out there. So and then kind of his graduation into the song. So for those of you tuning in here, we're talking about Riptide, what I think the meaning may be about, which seems to be clear from all these occult references, and I'm going to be covering that on Thursday. So check that out this Thursday for the release of that. He mentions friends turning green. He actually shows money in the video. He's likely probably referring to the envy of his abundance that he basically is able to create using magic, is aka the left hand path. So the riptide, the actual word riptide, could have a couple different meanings. Apparently, he remembered a hotel as a kid called the Riptide, so it could be where him and this person were performing these rituals or magic or what have you. And it also could represent being pulled by the Riptide. Basically, in practicing, black magic, left hand path, there's always a price that has to be paid. So that could be what he's talking about, is the fear of kind of getting swept up by whatever that compensation is, right? When he says they come unstuck, it seems like he could be talking about the pillars of Jachin and Boaz, or even simply sigil paper. Created a sigil, put wax on it, and then he's basically saying, this situation has come to fruition, becoming unstuck. Or it could also simply be them getting unstuck from some type of sex magic ritual. In the video, they show a woman escaping from rope at that particular line, and that could also be part of some type of unbinding ritual. Again, for those of you following along, we're talking about Vance Joy's Riptide song that I'll be performing on Thursday. Every Thursday, I release a song, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon Central Daylight Time. So in the video, there's even more little Easter eggs. So there's a fictional video named Velocite or Velocati. I'm not sure exactly how to say it. And French, but which is the denomination. It's supposedly a Western movie, and it's simply French for velocity, which to me expresses the rate at which his spell or desired outcome occurred, right? Additionally, in the part of the song where the guy quits his job and moves to New York City, he's, his name's John Keogh and he's from Australia. If you look carefully at that particular line, he has a note signed he's resigning and his the initials JK, James Keogh, which is him, which is Vance Joy's real name. Obviously, New York City, synonymous with fame and performance, one of the biggest entertainment capitals of America, especially at that time. Um, and so he's literally saying he wants to quit his job and be a famous artist. And that's exactly what happened to him. Later, we'll kind of mention the timing of the first time he wrote that song. And also what's cool is in the video, he shows Waves of Matter book. And there's so many things. I just literally just quickly looked at it to see what else I can pick up for today's video. Um, but that's a clear sign talking about waves, abundance, manifestation. But if this isn't a smoking gun, I don't know what is. So right at a minute and 50 seconds is the tarot spread. He shows it. He shows the Fool card. He shows the Nine of Swords, shows the Moon and the Hangman. Literally, he's waiting for abundance. That's what in the end of that Hangman and that what that represents. And the Moon, subconscious, magic, mysticism, etc. Supposedly, he started that song in 2008. He came up with the song and he just kind of let it sit there for a little bit. And then when it was released in 2013, 2014, it exploded. It absolutely catapulted him to fame. Um, the part where he talks about destined for the screen, closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer. That one's a little bit interesting. Maybe he was trying to manifest, do some type of love spell of what he was looking for. Maybe that's what he wanted to end up with. Obviously, he did end up marrying his high school or some sweetheart. This could have been also this Michelle Pfeiffer lady could have been who he was practicing this occult with, right? The person that introduced him to the left hand path, in the Riptide, maybe. Who knows? Um, the part where he sings about the lump in his throat is very interesting. Because obviously, when you're saying a spell, you don't want to say the words wrong because the results you could yield different results, right? So the lump in the throat could have just simply been saying that, like, don't say the words wrong, and this who knows what's going to happen. It also could be talking about the price of magic, right? There's always a trade off with magic and that type of aspect, and you never really know. Maybe he was thinking, he doesn't want to get throat cancer because that could be the lump in his throat, what would be the worst thing for him, and maybe he's getting it in words so that that specifically doesn't happen for his spell, which the song could be the spell, or again could just be all these little interesting tidbits that happen to be in the song. But his voice is his instrument, so throat cancer would obviously be a huge hit to him. Um, so this is what's really interesting too. The woman in the music video becomes increasingly disheveled. She appears as perfect and polished in the beginning, when the part where she's singing, but then her makeup keeps getting smeared and her lipstick gets all over the place. To me, that represents the uncertainty of performing a spell, right? Magic takes the path of least resistance to reach fruition. So we really, what's really interesting in how that represents that. So especially of interest. And after watching this part, there's a whole nother thing, that little rabbit hole that comes up. Later on at the very end, her hand is bleeding. There's blood in her hand. And to me, that could be some type of subtle nod to blood magic or another type of ritual that he could be alluding to. Which was really crazy was when I was reading the subtitles, the words, the part where it says, I got a lump in my throat because you're going to sing the words wrong. So it says, you're going to sing the words wrong, you gone and sank the world's wolf, right? You gone and sank the world's wolf. It may seem just like silly. Apparently, if you Google it, they're like, they were just kind of trying to make a funny joke or whatever. There's actually some specific here to the occult. The wolf clearly represents a pentagram based on the shape, right? The wolf, the bottom of its mouth, and then the ears and the mane, right? So that is pretty clearly a representation of that. And the world is the world card in tarot. So he's basically saying, oh shit, like, you gone and sank the world's wolf, meaning that we went like, maybe he was maybe on the fence. He doesn't really know much about black magic, but here he is saying we done and fucked up. We basically went all in on black magic, left hand path, and that's what that kind of means to me. So, and that this happens every chorus. If you watch the video, this literally happens every chorus where they have those specific words. Very interesting. So, in any event, for those of you following along, really interesting song that I'm surprised there's nothing about this out there. So it seems pretty clear to me what all these little undertones about this song, but yeah. So, but basically, I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Do you think the song has occult references? Do you think it's all a joke? It's supposed to be, what is I forget what YouTube says. Wikipedia says Vance Joy is about. It's like so ridiculously. If you look up the, yeah, so the Wikipedia says that it's a coming of age love story and is known for its metaphors and pop culture references. I don't know about that, but listen to me sing that this Thursday, and this Thursday is also the cutoff for you voting on my original song. Again, I sang three original songs live with backing tracks, and you get to vote and say which one you want to have be my next single, be a part of my history and my musical path. And but that's it. That's all I got for today. Well, this was really fun though to talk about Vance Joy and the reference of the left hand path, which I think is clearly what the song's about. Magician is a magician card, left hand man, left hand path. Again, watch the video, check it out. But that's all I got for you today. Thanks for coming in. Sorry for not getting shout outs because I had a lot to go through today, but thank you all for following me. I'm seeing the follows increase, and especially those of you on TikTok who really, really supporting. And I recognize it all, and I thank it all. YouTube is also, there's been a lot of great support there. Facebook, Instagram, you know, we could, a little bit more would be nice, But hey, I'm blessed for it all. But hey, thank y'all for following and tuning in, and check out Riptide, my cover of it on this Thursday. And last week to vote, just comment in the song which one you want. For my other posts, you'll see them on every social media platform. All right. Take care, guys. Peace.